It's bright. It's really bright. Okay, let's go. Hello, Nick here from TechNuovo and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm looking at the Zhiyun Fiveray FR 100C Lightstick, and usually in my videos I would hold the product and show you, but I can't because I'm actually using it right now to illuminate myself for this video. Let me just get my phone and I'll show you behind the scenes. Here we go, this is the Lightstick. It is a 400K, 100%. Aimed at my head. Out of the box, I'm instantly drawn to say it's like a mini lightsaber. It's got a handle at the very bottom with a nice textured grip. To the back of the handle is a small display that indicates various settings, and then a rotary push button, which is used for selecting said settings. The button does include labels so you know what's what, plus there is a handy color spectrum as you need to manually change figures to get the color you want, but more on that later. Above the handle, the LED light itself with a white frosted cover to the front and grills around the other three sides to keep those LED chips cool. However, that isn't enough, and the grill directly behind the LEDs actually holds 6 small fans which will turn on automatically when needed. The LED part measures 350mm while the handle is an extra 150mm. So 500mm in total. The weight sits at just under 1 kilogram, and there is also a handy 1/4 inch thread to mount to a stand at the bottom. Overall, the build quality is very good. It appears to be very well built, and due to its shape and size, reasonably practical too, either handheld or on a stand. In the box, you get the light wand, a USB-C cable, and some instructions. As for the spec and features, it's got CCT mode, which allows for dual color temperature lighting in regular and max mode. Color temperature, warm white 2700K up to a cool white 6200K, plus full RGB HSI mode. Hue is 0 to 360 degrees, saturation 0 to 100%, intensity or dimming 0 to 100% as well. Color rendering index CRI is 96 or greater, TLCI is 97 or greater. Charging is via USB-C or a mains adapter, but that's sold separately. Charge time is circa 2 hours and 30 minutes, then the battery life up to 5 hours 40 minutes, but that varies dramatically on the light output. In terms of light performance, it's very bright and it's flexible. At 100%, or I should say 100% on the display, it's very bright, more than bright enough to allow me to light up a product I'm shooting, or provide just about enough light for me to shoot a video like this right now. However, activate the boost mode, which I feel adds another 50% output, and that light output becomes almost blinding if held too close to you. Ideal for external shoots or anywhere you just need the extra boost. It's linear rather than circular, which does offer a different spread of light, but the further away you stand from it, the less noticeable that is. The light is diffused by a frosted cover. You can still pick up the singular LEDs, and I'd say you still need to soften it a little bit more if you're shooting video. The light color can be easily changed via the scroll wheel once you've got used to it. Warm white at 2700K up to cool white 6200K works well and can be adjusted in increments of 100K. Dimming control is even more flexible and can be changed in increments of 1%, which is good, but takes quite a few scrolls around to go from 0 to 100%. The color option is a nice touch, but it takes some getting used to achieve the color you want. There are no defaults, no quick options. Instead, you have hue and saturation options on the screen, and you have to manually adjust both of those figures to achieve the color you want. Cheat, find a color online with associated hue and saturation outputs, or do it manually and fiddle with both figures for ages until you achieve the color you want. It is tedious. The last color selected is saved, so the next time you turn the light on, that color will show up. The RGB coloring can also be dimmed the same as the white light. This is the light at 100%. This is the light with boost mode on. This is the light with 50% light output. And this is with the light turned off altogether. I've only got a little bit of uplight over there to bounce some light off the ceiling. So this is at 2700K It's very, very orange, and I'm going to look a little bit different. This is at 6200K. It's a very, very cool white look. The controls as a whole work quite well once you get used to them and understand what each option does. Noise could be a concern for some, with 6 small fans rotating at various speeds to dissipate the heat produced by the chips. It can get quite loud. When you first turn the light on, the fans won't kick in at all, it will be silent. As the temperature of the chips increase, the fans will automatically turn on and they will start to rotate slowly and ramp up the speed in line with the increased thermal output of the chips. At peak, the fans are whirling. It's very noticeable they're on and could be quite off-putting. Ideally, if you're outside on a shoot or maybe even inside but taking photos, I don't think it would be too much of an issue. However, if you're shooting a video and depending on the type of microphone you use and its position, it might pick up the sound of the fans, which will ruin the audio for you. For me, I have a lav mic attached to my t-shirt and I found it to be okay when initially tested. Let me walk a little bit closer to light and let's see if you can hear it or not. Right, I've actually finished shooting the video and I've had the light stick on boost mode for about 10 minutes and I think this is the loudest it will get. I'm not sure if this is picking up now, but I'm going to get a little bit closer and see if you can hear it. It's kicking out a lot of heat. Can you hear that? It's quite bright. It's quite loud. The fans do a fairly poor job of removing heat, or so I'm led to believe. I put my hand on the front of the light when the fans were at full speed and it is still really hot, to the point where you shouldn't really hold your hand on for too long. However, how much worse would it be if the fans weren't running, and how long until those chips go pop? I'm not sure, so maybe the fans are doing just about enough. Battery life varies drastically on how we use it. Full power, 100% plus boost, you might get 30 minutes out of it if you're lucky. As you reduce the output, the battery life will last longer. Drop it to 50% and you might get an hour. Drop it down further, maybe 2 hours, and then down to 10%, you might get up to 5 hours of battery life. But is it worth it? It doesn't provide that much purposeful light. It would have to be background only. As it comes with a 1/4 inch thread, you can attach it to a tripod, big or small, or a gorilla pod, or anything that provides the 1/4 inch screw. For me, I attached it to various tripods, some bigger than others, and some had flexible heads on them as well, which meant I could angle the light very easily. I tried having the light in above my head, at head level, at varying angles, down below, facing up. It can be as versatile as your tripod will allow it, and ideally you want a ball joint to get maximum flexibility, or get a person to hold it for you. Overall, a very handy and portable light stick. It's incredibly flexible and versatile, but it is a little bit noisy and takes a little time to get used to how the controls work. The battery life as well, at the full output, is not going to last very long, and maybe not long enough, which I think is the biggest consideration you need to think about before purchasing. Price-wise, it's $199 or £199 1-to-1. You may think it's expensive, but when you shop around, there aren't too many products like this on the market, and it does offer a lot for the money. In certain applications, this could be a sound investment, but the key is weighing up where and when you use it to justify the cost. That is a wrap on this video. If you have stuck around until the end, then thank you very much. And if you want to see more videos from us in the future, hit that subscribe button and all our future videos will pop up in your feed.